It's the Watch Me Go Broke Nightly News with Tom Brohugs. Reporting tonight, Tom Brohugs.
Good evening, I'm Tom Brohugs. We begin tonight with breaking news. The watch scheduled for review this evening has increased in price dramatically over just the past few weeks. For more on the story, let's go to WMGB Chief Horologist Chet Westerling. Chet, it looks like things are pretty bad out there.
That's right, Tom. Well, as you can see behind me, the surge of pricing has reached epic proportions. The Citizen Promaster ECO-DRIVE has increased by almost $100 at most places where you can get it. Boy, oh boy, nobody knows why, but one thing is for sure. If you're one of the lucky folks that already has one of these, well, you're one of the lucky folks. Tom?
Chief Horologist Chet Westerling reporting. Thanks, Chet, and as they say down at my local gentleman's club, stay dry. Coming up, a new study from Johns Hopkins University on how eating broccoli gives you cancer. Now let's awkwardly bend over a table and take a look at the Citizen Promaster ECO-DRIVE.
All right, guys, on ye old wrist today is going to be the Hamilton Khaki Field Automatic. I don't want to say too much about this because I have a review coming up. So here is today's watch. This is the Citizen Promaster ECO-DRIVE 200-meter dive watch. It is model number BN0151-09L. So let me jump right into the pricing. So the pricing has gone up substantially just over the past few weeks, and I don't know if there's a run on them or what the deal is, but Amazon has this blue version currently for $216, and the black version for way more than that, over $100 more than I've seen this watch in other places. Now, I thought, well, hey, I'm just going to check eBay to see, because you usually can find a good deal on there, and it's almost even worse on eBay. With even pre-owned, they're coming in a lot more expensive than they should be. However, I did find in Joma Shop that it is selling for around the $160 price point, so that is where I would recommend you get this watch currently. But if you're gonna get it, I'd get it fast, because I have a feeling that that price is gonna change, but that is the price at the time of the review. So you've got a 44 millimeter case, a thickness of 12 millimeters, lug to lug of 48 millimeters, lug width of 20 millimeters, screw down crown. It is a screw down case back as well. Good looking case back. Cool Citizen ECO-DRIVE logo there with a very stern warning. Do not open it up unless you are the repair center. Just a mineral crystal today listed as anti-reflective. Yeah, I think there's a little bit on there. I've seen a lot worse. So you've got a 60-click unidirectional bezel today with an aluminum insert. There is a luminous pip at the 12 o'clock. The bezel action is actually really quite nice. Very, very satisfying. It does grip pretty well, even though the knurling or the area where you grip it is not all the way 360 degrees around the bezel. It is still very easy to grip. Luminous pip. It is recessed, which I really like. No chance of hacking that bad boy off. All applied indices today with a printed Citizen logo just below the 12, and then ECO-DRIVE Divers 200 meter above the 6, and just below the 6 you can see Japan movement. It is the E168 movement. That is a solar powered movement. The minute markings are all on a chapter ring that does line up perfectly. Seiko, I'm looking in your direction. The dial is kind of a dull blue matte finished dial. Not sunburst, it doesn't really pop, but it does certainly look nice. I think the color is probably due to the fact that it is solar, so I think they have to, they can't put a deep, deep dark color, I would assume, or something along those lines to where the light can pass through the dial. At least that's my assumption. The hour and minute hands are very attractive. The hour hand is polished, appears to be stainless steel, and the hour hand is a really cool orange, so you certainly would never get those confused. Now the second hand does appear to be plastic with a luminous arrowhead tip, and I'm a sucker for plastic second hands. I think they look really, really cool, gives it kind of a vintagey style. And certainly no problem with the second hand hitting all of the minute markers. There's a framed date window at the 4 o'clock, nothing spectacular, and they didn't really jazz that up at all. And a 4 o'clock crown, which I originally thought was stupid when I had seen the SKX years ago, but since owning the SKX with a 4 o'clock crown, I really have kind of fallen in love with those. Makes the watch much more comfortable to wear. Now this is an ISO certified dive watch, so at the original price that it was at, that was an extremely good value, a little bit cheaper than the SKX. And as you will note, this is not the strap that comes on the watch. This is just a cheap strap. I think I got it, I took it off a Reginald watch, but it is just folded metal links. It is nasty, it is jingly jangly. I kind of like the clasp, but you know, it's pretty crappy pressed metal clasp, but I do enjoy it. Lots of micro adjustments. I really generally like this particular watch on a metal strap, but the one that I am using, or the one that I traditionally use on this watch, I'm using on my Citizen Promaster automatic, so I'm enjoying it on that particular watch at the moment. This is going to be the strap that it comes on. It is pretty stiff. I would say it's slightly better than the one you would get on the SKX. Not really high quality buckle or anything. A couple of keepers there. Just a cheap old kind of ratty rubber strap, or it may even be resin. It doesn't even feel like rubber. It has decompression limits. So if you're diving and you need to know that information is right there on the dial for you. Oh boy. Ooh. You got to decompress for 5 minutes at 30 meters? Oh, I've been doing that wrong. But all in all, I did take this strap off because it is not very comfortable. It's more comfortable than what you would find on the standard SKX strap, but it just doesn't fit my wrist very well. Lots of holes though, so it could fit a varying size of wrist, I would assume. So the movement in this is going to be the E168 ECO-DRIVE movement. That's solar powered with a 6-month power reserve, so they claim, at fully charged. I believe to fully charge this, you need to have it in direct sunlight for about 130 hours. So you would not be able to fully charge this in 1 day's use out in the sun. So you're gonna have to wear it probably for about a week, I guess, outside to get it fully charged. And there is a lume shot for you. The lume on this watch is actually outstanding. I've had this actually in a dark room for quite some time, so I just gave it a little bit of a charge there. This lume is really, really outstanding. It lasts for a very long time, and it is much, much brighter than your standard watch. I think it does hold up with Seiko's lume very well. It holds up against it pretty good. So yeah, lume, super great. So what do I like about this watch? Well, the first thing that I really, really liked was at the price at the time, I think it was around $180 on Amazon. You were getting so much value for money. You're getting an ISO certified dive watch, solar powered movement, 6-month power reserve, all that good stuff. So really that was a good deal. So with the prices raising up, if you can get this watch at around the $180, or of course Joma Shop's price, I think you're really doing good there. Yeah. I like the bezel. This is the only watch that I have that is a 60-click bezel, I believe, other than the Citizen Promaster Automatic. And I really, really like that. I think the action on this bezel is just really outstanding. It's very satisfying, as I said in the beginning. Really cool, nice sound. It kind of sounds like maybe chains rattling or like coins clicking together. That's the best way I can describe it. So it seems pretty substantial. I like that you're getting quartz-ish style accuracy with this watch. The movement in it does seem to be fairly good, fairly accurate. You know, I think after a month, I want to say it was like maybe plus 13 seconds, something along those lines. So certainly acceptable. And I do love the lume. I mean, this is really one of the best watches that I have in regards to lume. I love hanging outside at night and looking at watch lume. It is one of my favorite things to do, and this watch does not let me down in that regard. I like the shorter lug-to-lug, so it wears pretty good. Similar to the SKX, not nearly as thick, so it does hug the wrist a bit better, and I'll show you in just a moment. So what do I not like about this watch? Well, in my experience, and I don't know if you will agree with this or not, I have found that the Citizen ECO-DRIVE movements are not as good as Seiko's solar-powered movements. This watch has stopped on me, not when I'm wearing it. It does a good job there. But if I leave it sitting for like, you know, a month or, you know, a month and a half, it generally does die. And to get it started back up, if you're not in direct sunlight, just with the ambient light in the room, it will do the jumping 2 seconds for quite some time before it gets back to its regular operation like it is now. I didn't have that problem with Seiko's solar-powered movements. They will always be there. I got this at the exact same time as I got my Seiko Solar Chronograph watch, and I charged them both at the same time outside, and the Seiko lasted forever. I would say it easily lasted 6 months on not having, you know, the tremendous amount of time outside, and this did not. Now, I'm not saying this is not good, because it certainly is, and I've had really virtually no problems getting it charged back up. But, you know, part of the deal with the 6-month power reserve is you want the 6-month power reserve. So, I mean, I didn't wear it for a week straight. Maybe that was my problem. I think if you wear this as an everyday watch, you're not going to have any issues at all. And the movement in it is supposed to last 10 years, and that's really good, but what happens after that 10 years? You know, do you just throw it away? Is it something that you can replace, or do you have to, you know, order one and have them replace the movement, or do you just get a whole nother watch? I'm not a huge fan of getting a whole nother watch because you know, you connect with your watches. You know, you're gonna have dings and scratches and, you know, all that stuff. So you really are not wanting to part with the watch. And I think that may be where an automatic watch has an advantage over one of these solar powered watches, because I don't want to throw this away, you know, at 10 years. In 10 years, you know, it might last 20 years. You don't know. It might last 5 years. I don't know. There's no warranty in that regard. So once it dies, it just dies. With an automatic, you know, you're going to be able to send it in for repair. And generally these automatic movements, you know, you're going to be able to get pretty much anywhere and be able to do it yourself, so you don't have to throw the entire watch away. Now, I don't know if you can buy this solar powered movement separately and change it out, you know, yourself. I would assume you could, but hey, there's that warning on the back, don't touch me. So I'm not sure. Don't really like that. I also don't like the color of the dial, and I'm going to give you guys a piece of advice. And if you don't listen to anything that I say on this channel, and a lot of times you probably shouldn't, if you're unsure, if there are two colors of a watch and one is blue and one is black, choose the black one. If you're unsure, choose the black one. The black is so much more versatile. It looks better. This blue dial is just kind of like a drab sort of, you know, I don't know, hospital waiting room color. I don't know. That's the best way I can describe it. It's just, it doesn't pop. It's not attractive. It does not really look good, and it doesn't match like the bezel insert. And honestly, I don't even think it really matches the chapter ring if you're looking really, really close. So a little disappointing there. I know there's, you know, something to do with having solar powered. You got to get light through there with color. I'm sure that's what it is. But yeah, as Wesley Snipes would say, always bet on black. So there it is on my 7 1/4 inch wrist. The lugs curve down there, so it hugs the wrist very nicely. You know, I'm sure you're all out there saying, well, why does he not put it on the original strap? Well, I will tell you, and I know I do this all the time, I don't get these watches to just review on the channel. I wear these watches, and I had a problem with the strap, so I changed it out to this crappy steel strap. And the reason I did that, I love the taper. It goes from 20 down to, I think it's 15, down to the clasp. I love a good taper on a watch bracelet. And so it also took me about an hour to put this on, to fit it. It's hollow end links, and you're having to bend links, try to get it to fit. It doesn't fit exactly right, but I did the best I could, and that's why I don't want to take it off, because I'm going to continue to wear this watch. And, you know, I'm not one of those guys that just brings in watches to review. I really do use these watches. I really like these watches. And, you know, I'm currently, right now, I don't flip them. I'm not saying I won't do that in the future, you know, as my collection, you know, gets maybe, you know, too large. But yeah, right now I'm enjoying it on this strap. And, yeah, really no complaints, you know, serious complaints about this watch. But I definitely would have gone with black if I had the opportunity to do so again. But guys, let me know. I mean, I let you know eBay prices, I let you know Amazon prices, Joma Shop prices. If you know of another place where you can get this, and even Citizen's website is selling this for $280 at the moment, that's $100 more than what I have seen this watch go for on the average. So if you know of another place where you can get this watch at around the $160 to $180 price point, please share that in the comments so everybody can see, because I'm not the be-all, end-all like information master on where to find watches. But I will include a link to the Amazon store. I am an Amazon affiliate newly, so I will put a link to... It's not a link to my store because I'm not technologically advanced. Honestly, I don't know what I'm doing. But anyway, I was accepted into the program, and so I'll put a link there. It is going to be the price of $216. I can't recommend you getting it at this price, but hey, I gotta do what I gotta do to, you know, stay in the affiliate program there. So that's what I'm doing. But this is not my full-time job. You know, I just do this for fun. You know, and I'm trying to bring you guys more ways where you can get watches, and so I just signed up for that program. I don't know if I'm going to stay in it or not, but we'll see how it goes. So guys, yes, let me know any information you have about pricing on this watch in the comments, and I will see you next time.